What's going on, family? Grace and peace. This is your host, Javon Blue, on the Kingdom Talks podcast, where we're going to be talking about God, business, trading, manhood, marriage, and all the real stuff that's happening out there. So listen, sit back, relax, open up your Bibles, open up your notebooks, whatever you got to do, and let's get it. Sheesh, let's go. Yo, what's going on, family? Grace and peace to all of the Kingdom citizens that are out there that's tuned into the Kingdom Talks podcast. I am your host, Javon Blue, and I'm excited. I'm excited. It is the beginning of the week. And for all of you that are listening to this, I know you are about to go out there and kill it and make it happen, right? Do it to the fullest extent. And, that's my prayer for you guys. Not, to remain comfortable, not to remain complacent, but for you to keep progressing, for you to keep growing. And, for those people that's like, man, Jay, but it's hard. Like, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. Listen, I get it. We all have hard times in our lives, but I'm going to be real with you. Nobody cares what it is that you're going through. They only care when you get out of it. I would rather you get out of it, use all that energy to get out of it so that you can tell your story, so that then we care enough to recommend your story to somebody else who's going through. So don't stay in there. Don't stay stuck in the mess, but use this as a time where you're talking to God and you're like, God, where do you want me to go? How do you want me to think? What is the perspective? What is the mindset that I need to have? And this is why Paul says, adopt the mind of Christ. Put on the mind of Christ, because it's only until you have that renewing of the mind that you will start to see things differently. So guys, you already know what we about to get into. We about to get into the work. So the title for today is, Are You Disgusted? Are you disgusted? Right? Are you so grossed out about your situation that you're willing to actually change? Like, are you to the point where you can't even stand to look at something, be around it, be in it? Right? Are you to the point where you're like, man, like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I can't fathom getting up to do this. I can't fathom, being a part. Like, are you disgusted? The definition of disgusting, let's look at that. It says, and I'm looking this up now. It says the meaning of disgusting is causing a strong feeling of dislike, right? Or disinclination. So basically what it's saying here, like, let's look up some synonyms and some antonyms of disgusting. It says abhorrent, abominable, appalling, awful, distasteful, dreadful, evil, foul. Like, these are some words that are associated with the word disgusting. So what in your life right now are you truly disgusted about? Are you truly distasteful about? Dreadful about? You're appalled at why you're living this way. It's awful for you. And it's not until we get to that point in our lives where we're like, yo, I can't stand to be here anymore. That is when change happens, when you are truly disgusted with your situation. The problem why you're probably not moving the way that you want to move, the problem why you're probably not living the way that you want to live is because you haven't reached the point where you're disgusted. Some people say, well, Javon, that's an awful word. Like, I don't think you should describe it like that. Yes, I should. Because it's not until something is disgusting around you that you start to move. And I ain't trying to be gross or nothing, but it's not until, imagine you just walking in the park, you with your significant other, or you're with your kids or something like that, right? You know what? let's do the kid thing since I'm a father. Shout out to the dads out there. Shout out to the mothers as well. If I'm walking my daughter in the park and she go out there and run in the grass and she pick up some dog crap and me and my wife see that, oh, we're going to be so disgusted to the point that, yo, I don't care what we doing, drop everything. We got to get to the bathroom and clean this thing up. Why? Because I'm disgusted. And that's how some of you guys need to get in your life. That's how, yo, listen, like I say all the time, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me. There's certain things that I need to get truly disgusted about to the point where, yo, I can't stand this. I got to go clean it up. It's starting to stink. It's starting to smell. It's starting to change my way of thinking when I'm around it. I need to get this thing cleaned up. There's a story, family, and you guys probably heard it before, but there's a story of there was this guy that was walking past a road. Well, not walking past a road, but he was walking down a dirt road. And he would do this consistently every single day. And he would just walk down this road every single day. But there was this particular house that was on the right-hand side of the road where he was walking down. Every day he would walk down this road. But this particular house, he always was curious about it because at this house, there was a porch. You know, and there was this old guy that used to sit there every time he would go down this dirt road. And the guy would be sitting there in his rocking chair and he would just be looking out and he would just be, you know, enjoying life in his rocking chair, chilling. But then he also noticed that there was a dog every day at the beginning of the gate, where this guy's house is at. And every day he would walk by and he would just see the dog groaning and moaning and just like, he wasn't barking. He wasn't growling at the teeth, anything like that, gnashing his teeth, nothing like that. But he would always just moan and groan and he would just lay there. So one day he decided to ask the old guy that was in his rocking chair on the porch. He said, "Hey, sir, I come by here every day, and every day I see this dog, and I hear him groaning and moaning." And the guy asks, he's like, "What's up? Like, is the dog in pain?" And he's like, "I don't know. He does this every day." So the next day he walked by, and the dog is still groaning and moaning. And he went over to the old guy and he said, "You mind if I just check the dog out, if I see what's going on with the dog? Like, do you mind? Because every day he's groaning and he's moaning." And the old guy said, "Hey, it's not even my dog. He just comes here every day." So the guy walks over, he pets the dog, he looks at the dog, and he picks it up. And as he's moving the dog, he realized that the dog was laying on a nail. He was laying on a nail the entire time. And the guy went over to the old guy and he said, "Hey, like, he's laying on a nail. That's why he's groaning and he's moaning." So the guy asked him, he said, why do you think the dog would just come to this spot and just sit there every day and just not move? And the old guy said, "Well, maybe it didn't hurt him good enough. Maybe the pain wasn't as bad to him as it would be for somebody else. Maybe it didn't hurt him enough where he's able to move." See, the thing in that story, family, is that a lot of you have a nail on the side of you. A lot of you have a pin on the side of you. There's a pinch. There's a nerve that's getting hit. But here's the problem with that. Maybe it doesn't hurt enough. That's why you're still sitting there. You're not disgusted enough. That's why you're still sitting in the mess. You have to get truly disgusted about your situation to the point where movement comes after it. The only thing that is separating you from where you want to be, where you want to go, is a decision. That's the only thing that matters, is decision making. If you're not making decisions in life, if you're not making the decisions that will change your situations, then nothing else matters, because I would even say this: by you not making a decision is still a decision that you're making. You're just making the decision to stay in the mess, to be in that disgusting place where now your pain isn't pushing you into your prize. You have to allow that pain to push you into progress. You got to allow that pain to push you through so you can get on the other side of whatever it is that you're going through. I can't stand people who hate their situation but complain in their situation all day long. Yo, if you hate what you do, if you hate your job, you hate the people that are around you, your situation, you hate the way you living, guess what? You don't have no right to complain about it. Do something about it. But you're probably not disgusted enough. It probably doesn't hurt bad enough to the point where you're going to be able to move out of that situation. Stop complaining and start making some things happen. Listen, for those people that's like, well, Javon, I don't have a lot of money. I don't got this. I don't got that. Listen, you're already starting your conversation, or you're already starting your journey off wrong when you say I don't have. You have everything you need right now. If you're listening to this podcast, I know you got access to YouTube. I know you got access to Instagram. I know you got access to Facebook. Therefore, you have vehicles and you have tools that you can get set up in where now you're able to get what? Information. But the problem is your algorithm doesn't even respect or even pull up where you want to be. It only pulls up where you are. Your algorithm supports your way of thinking now and not your way of thinking that will put you to where it is that you want to go. If I was to get your phone right now, what would I see on your YouTube algorithm? What would I see on your Instagram algorithm? Would it be a bunch of nonsense, booty shaking stuff? You know, a bunch of nonsense movies and shows and people talking about nothing, and you up here looking at rap video. Like, what's on your algorithm that will support where it is that you want to go? Show me the fruit. You say you want to be here. You say you want to do that. Where's the fruit? What do you have to show for it? A lot of people think you need material things right now to show for your growth. No, the words that come out of your mouth is the evidence that you've been putting in the work. I remember something TD Jakes said in his sermon, and it stuck with me. He said it like 10 years ago. It stuck me. He said, even though you're poor, sound rich. He said when he was going through what he was going through, and there was holes in his shoes, and he had to wash the same suit over and over and over and over again on the washboard, and he only had one suit, he had one pair of shoes, and he was preaching, doing all of this. He said, listen, even though I was poor, I was working on my knowledge, I was working on my words, I was in the dictionary, I was studying, I was in the word every single day. Why? Because he knew at some point it's not always going to be like this. But when I get into rooms, when I get into platforms, when I do those things that will set me up for my future, I'm going to be prepared in a way where people are going to be so confused about my situation that they're not going to know nothing except, yo, he was putting in the work. He sounds like he knows what it is he's talking about. He sounds like a person who have studied. See, a lot of you guys want so much, but you're not willing to put in the work to get the information to change whatever it is that you're going through. You are not hurting bad enough. You have to get disgusted about your situation. That is the only way that you're going to change. That's the only way that something is going to be different, is that you got to get disgusted. So guys, this is not going to be a long episode. I just wanted to drop this in you at the beginning of the week because I need you guys to understand. You're not going to get something new until you realize where I am is dead. Where I am is not good soil. So guys, we got to start this thing off right. We got to start the new year off right by being disgusted about your situation, being real to yourself. We got to stop pretending. Like I said in the podcast where I was talking about false assignments, God cannot bless false identities. Take off the mask. Stop pretending. Get disgusted to the point where you can't even fathom being here anymore. And live your life every single day on purpose. Sheesh. Hope you guys got blessed. But with that being said, family, you already know what it is. We out of here. Enjoy your week. Have a phenomenal week. Go out there, win big. Win big, family. Do it for yourself. Do it for the people around you. Do it for your legacy. But get disgusted enough that you're ready to move. Let's go. Yo, what up, Kingdom family? Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Listen, I want you to hit up the block, hit up your job, hit up your family, your campus, your friends, whatever the case may be. Send them this episode. Let them know what we got going on. And I will see you guys on the next one. Let's get it.